Here we go, on trail, off trail. Look at that, oh, you can't jump that. Oh yeah, this thing's hauling wood like it's nothing. I've got a whole cargo load back there, and look how it's just pulling right along. We are on a downhill fly. Now, when you're going fast on this thing, do not turn these wheels. It feels quick, everybody. So in this video, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over this PUCKIPUPPY Husky Pro. Now, I know you're asking, what does a Pro mean? Well, a Pro means you get a front and back battery, which gives you a total combined range of usable power, 33 amp hours of power. And you know what? I've actually never ridden one of these trike style e-bikes before. So it was very interesting to me. Let me go ahead and do a full walkthrough. I'll give you the specs, the kind of the build quality and components, and then we'll do a full ride test and I'll give you my final thoughts then. So yeah, let's go ahead. Let's get into the walkthrough now. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's start with the specs on this thing. Overall weight on the capacity weight is 500 pounds between the basket and the rider and pretty much everything you can have on it. You can actually put a front basket and really load this thing down. It's very impressive. It's a pretty stout looking bike too. Don't that just look stout? And the rider height on this thing, 5 foot to 6'2", with a step over height of around about 12.5 inches from right here of step over. So the motor on this is it's labeled their label. It's the PUCKIPUPPY, and it's a 750 watt that gives you a total of 960 watts peak power out of that 750. Now this one is, by the way, they have geared this for torque, not necessarily speed. Honestly, everybody, you don't want to go fast on a 3-wheel bike. It comes out of the factory. It comes as a class 2, which you can see right here, 750 watt. 20 miles per hour. Now they have 15 miles per hour, but you can unlock it with a code up here, but it will not do over 20. I went all the way up as high as it'll go, and I've maxed it out at 20, which to me is just fine as far as a trike. If you're looking for a lightweight bike, you might want to just reconsider this thing, because it is a 120-pound bike when it's fully assembled, and you can see the size of it. It's actually a pretty big bike here, and it sets you up really high. You kind of feel like a chariot when you're on this thing. It's very impressive the way it feels. Charging time between the both batteries, you get 2 chargers, so you can plug both batteries in at the same time. They are removable batteries. It's a key that I have right here. These keys, there's a back and a front key. They're not the same key. You can charge the batteries on the bike or off the bike, and it gives you a little visual button to let you know exactly how much power is still left in the battery. Right now, the only thing I've seen was 2 color options, but I got mine in the red right there. There is other color options. There might be some more here and there, but this is the color I got, and it looks great. 3 tires on it. They're 20 by 4 inch tires, and these are by the company, I think it says J-Stone. JN Stone is what these are. I've actually never seen this brand, but they've been very solid to me. They look good, and I think you inflate them up to 20 PSI. The brakes, this has 3 brake rotors on them. They're 160 millimeter brake rotors, and they've got a single piston hydraulic brakes. That's it. That's good, because hydraulic brakes, I think you need them on here, and you got them ×3, so you're going to have pretty good stopping power with hydraulic brakes on a system like this. You get a front fork. This fork works really well. I don't see any issues in this fork at all. So you get 3 fenders with this, so you have to install all 3 fenders. These fenders are a little wonky to install, but once you get them going, you're fine. Very bright headlight. This might be one of the brightest headlights I've ever seen on an e-bike. You're seeing this lever right here. So this is a foldable e-bike. I know it's crazy. This actually folds down to save a little space. You're going to fold the actual frame in half, and then you can fold the handlebars down. And it gives you a little bit more space. Surprisingly good as a foldable bike. This is a cadence sensor, by the way, not a torque sensor. So a cadence sensor means that every rotation of the pedal, you get power, instead of a torque sensor that gives you power as you add it. I do have other bikes that are torque sensor and cadence sensor. I'm fine with both. It all depends on the application. If it's more of a mountain bike, I like a torque sensor. If it's more of kind of a cruiser style bike, cadence sensor is just fine for me. So there's a basket on the back, and obviously this is a cargo bike. Velcro liner thing right here, and it comes with this bungee thing right here. Let's go ahead and take this off, and let me show you kind of how this works. Look how easily you can take that off. So if you just want to run it as like a cage style like this, you can. It's very simple. So now let's look in here. So you see this right here? This is a slip differential. What that means is when one wheel is rotating, the other one will have power. So it's not like a lock differential where both will turn at the same time. It's where one will turn, and then if that one's stuck, that one will go. Then a lot of times when you lift up on it like that, it will spin, because I have got this thing up on edge a few times and that wheel starts spinning, then it drops down and it takes off. It's actually kind of a cool feeling, actually. It's got a 7-speed Shimano shifter on it. You can see the 7-speed right there. This is throttle and pedal, so you can go either way on that one. You could use it as a throttle or use it as a pedaling bike. It does have a rear tail light that also doubles as a brake light. So the seat is adjustable right here. It's just your basic lever style. There is a shock absorber built into this seat, and I think that seat works pretty well. It's wide and flat with a vent hole in the back, and it has an adjustable backrest right here that for me works in the all the way down position. When it's high, it kind of pushes you forward a little bit. So I ran it all the way down, but this is removable. If you don't want to use that, they give you an extra seat post to put your own seat on there if you don't even want to use the seat. But I like it. It's a very comfortable seat when it's in this down position like that. You see that little lever right there? You have a parking brake that you can turn on. They have these ergo style kind of leather grips that are screwed on. Soft faux leather. They do get a little slippery when your hands get sweaty, but I wear gloves mostly, so I don't have any issues with that. The handlebars are adjustable. You go up and down, you pull this lever right here, and you can pull it up, and you see the different types of measurements on it right there. And you will use that because of the different height adjustments. You set up very high on this, so I like having my handlebars up higher. Throttle, half twist throttle. This does have cruise control, so you can kind of lock that throttle in. They are these shorter style levers. I like these because it's like a little 2-finger pull. If you look right here, easy to turn the parking brake on with just one hand. I can set the brake pretty easy. There is a lever in here, display above this lever. So once you set this lever, you kind of don't move it again. So just so you know, you have to take the display off to use this lever, because I can't get it to come up all the way. So I just set it as it is and then set it and forget it. It's all thumb control on the shifters. I see no issues with those at all. Okay, so moving on to this display. It is a color display. To turn it on, it does take a minute. You're going to hold this button down 3 to 5 seconds. The hello comes up. If you see that brake lever arrow, what it means is the brake's on. Okay, I don't know how well you can see it in the camera there, but it is a color display and it looks amazing. Let me show you some of the features here. So you got the on and off. I showed you that, the up and down. So it goes through the gear, the pedal assist right there, down. It goes all the way down to 0. When it's on 0, it's just like a normal bike. You can go up, PSA 5. You get miles per hour on here, the mileage, which is your trip, and you can reset that. It's in eco mode, but when you give it full power, you will go to the power mode, and that's time of use right there. And then looking over here is the headlight. Mash that once, and you guys can see that the headlight just came on. Now to set some of this, hold down the up and down arrows at the same time, and you'll go into like a setting right here that gives you the brightness, the unit, the startup mode. Pretty simple to set up. But then here's another thing. Hold down these 3 right here. See the up, down, and the headlight. Now watch what it does. Hold these 3 down, and now it goes into a speed limit, power assist, voltage, wheel diameter, different types of settings in here if you want to. I wouldn't mess with this too much unless you know what you're doing. To go out of this, just hit the headlight button and it goes back. So all of that is contained right there. Oh, it does have a little horn on it. It's actually a pretty loud horn, everybody. Very impressive. And the top speed, so it comes from the factory at 15. Now you can set it up to 20. Let's see if we can get a speed test. So you watch what it does. I'm going to lean it over like this. You see how it wanted to take off? 21 is its max. 21.5 is max no load. And then as soon as you do that, it goes off. And if you want to do cruise control, you get it up to speed, and then you hold the down arrow and it will go into cruise control. So if you ever want to walk this thing, by the way, walking this dog I recommend it because it's not light. So hold this button down right here, the down arrow, and then you'll see it's going to walk at about 1 mile an hour, it kind of gives you a boost to walk it up a hill. You're going to need that. Trust me. Not many bikes I use that feature on, but I think on this one, I'm going to use it more times than not. Okay, everybody, there it is. That's the specs and kind of like a little walkthrough from the, you know, from front to back for you. Let me go ahead, put this thing to the trail test, and I'll test top speed, and I'll do power and stopping ability. Then I'll come back here and give you my final thoughts on who I think this bike is good for and who it might not be good for. So let's go ahead and let's get into the ride test now. You know what? I've got my speedometer set up, so I'm going to do a comparison of the speedometer versus the actual display here, and we'll see kind of like how close it is using GPS here to get out of here. Let me go ahead. Now I turn the intensity up. Look at how this thing rides, everybody. 7 and 7, that's pretty close. Wow, that's almost spot on. Let's go ahead, let's go up in the pedal assist and up there. It has a little kick to it. It's low end torque. It's very nice on this thing. I don't see any issues at all. This is a little service road, and I think it handles stuff like this with no problem, everybody. Let's put it out here on the bike trail and really kind of put it to a test where it's mostly going to be used. Okay, first off, let's go ahead. Let's come to a dead stop here, and I'm just going to go straight up this. We're going to go throttle only, put it in 5, and then just go wide open. Now, I do have it unlocked. Now it's in the power mode. It went from eco to power mode. That is spot on, 20 miles an hour. Speed limit, they nailed it. I hold this down. I think there it is. The cruise logo just came up. Check that out. Now this rides like a car. Oh, now if I use the pedals, by the way, it locks it out of cruise. Let me turn around. And oh, by the way, you don't really want to turn around going fast. So when you're doing a turn, slow down, then do your turn. Now you could pedal or do that, because watch when I go like fast. I don't know how well you can see that. Look at this back tire. Let me do some circles for y'all on this road. Watch when I'm doing a circle here. Oh man, you will wipe out if you keep doing that. And this is where I ride mostly, and we're going to use it as in pedal assist 0. This is just as a normal bike. I'm in gear 1. I can definitely feel the weight. We can go up a little bit. I think I could hold between 7 and 10 with a pretty good cadence on my legs. Let's go ahead and go up to 1. I feel a little bit of kick in there. Okay, this just almost, 1 just kind of takes the weight of the bike away. 2's where I first feel a little bit kind of kicking in. Looks like it tops out at about 8 on 2. 3, now I can go up. Okay, now it feels like a motorized bike. At 3's where I run it mostly. You can see how it holds 12 miles an hour pretty easy on 3. And now on these curves, definitely slow down on the curves. You are on a 3-wheeler. Oh boy. The dog might think I'm a horse. We are on a downhill fly. Let's go down here and turn around and go back up. Slow down. Let's put it in gear 1. Okay, so let's go up this hill, 15% grade. Pedal assist 5. Oh, that's no problem. I can actually go up in gears. Holy crap. I don't know how, it's hard to explain how steep this hill is. There's almost nothing with the pedal. I feel no weight of the bike at all. It handles hills like no problem. That's easy. Okay, so pedal assist 4. Wow, I can definitely feel there's a lot of motor being used on 4. And it'll probably top out at about 15, 14 there, 14.5. It's pretty good. There it is. Let's go ahead and give it all the beans in pedal assist 5. Everybody, it's looking like I can hold 20 in pedal assist 5. It doesn't go past 20. This is a true class 2 e-bike, and it is very comfortable. This is by far the most comfortable riding e-bike I've ever ridden. I don't know if it's something to do with this back wheelbase isn't like small, so it just rides better. It's funny, every time I jump up and down on that seat, it feels like I'm like smashing a mouse with that little bit of squeak. I'm gonna put some WD-40 on that seat because all that is a spring, and I think what happened is some water got down in there. This thing is IP6, I think. Now, you see how I'm riding this back wheel? So you guys have to remember not to get too close to this edge because that back wheel will fall off and potentially you're gonna go off there with it, which to me is not the most fun thing, but it's happened. There it is. I just felt it right there. I just felt it go off. So there's a little side kind of back road right here. See all these deadfalls? This is from Hurricane Helene. That's why they have Helene on there. I actually came down here with my chainsaw and cleaned a lot of this out because I use this bike trail a lot and I wanted to help everybody out. And I have e-bikes, so I was able to use these cargo style e-bikes and go down here and help clean up this. Wow, see how I can go on these little off-roads? Let's put it in 5. Oh boy. Now this is where you're gonna run into issues. See how it's smaller right here? Now I probably can go over this. Woo, that's using throttle right there. Oh, it just rained, so it's gonna be a little muddy down here. But we have those fenders, so I ain't got much to worry about. Whoa, I hear that back wheel spinning. Whoa, that went through that nicely. There's a lot of mud on these tires. You feel like a beast. And the suspension, you know, obviously it's not like full-on air suspension, but it seems to hold it pretty well. I just went over a pretty good sized log and it absorbed that pretty easy. See how I can kind of stop? This is what's interesting. I gotta tighten that up. I think that's come loose a little bit. Now, this is what I was talking about. To tighten that up, I have to actually move that display way over and then tighten up there. I'll do it when I get home. Right now, I think it's fine. But this is what I was talking about. See how I can kind of stop and just talk like this? I am just sitting still. I got the creek right here. I've actually caught some fish out of that creek, by the way. I throw some fishing rods in the back of here, and I came down here and caught some fish. Get back up here on the trail. So there it is, everybody. There's the ride test. I did some on trail and off trail. You know, we did some off-roading, 3x3. So yeah, let me go back and give you my final thoughts on this, this PUCKIPUPPY Trike. Okay, final thoughts here on the PUCKIPUPPY Husky Pro. So who do I think this is good for? What I'm thinking is the best for is someone that needs a bike, a trike that can carry a lot of cargo, up to 500 pounds of cargo, and just kind of like get around and have fun out on the bike trails at this is the most comfortable bike I've ever ridden. It is not, don't confuse it with an actual e-bike. It rides drastically different, more like let's say a rickshaw. You could use this as a rickshaw, by the way. Easily a couple of big dogs back here and they'll ride in that basket there, no problem. Or someone that's maybe doing DoorDash and they want to like in the city and they just need to be hauling a lot of food. Think of how many orders you could put in this thing. That would be awesome. Think of how many orders I could stack in there and be a bike kind of like delivery, Uber Eats or DoorDash or something like that. Light duty kind of gravel roads and off-road, it'll handle it just fine. Now let me get to, yeah, who's it not good for? If you're like wanting to have like something, you're thinking you're going to go out and do some stout mountain biking, you're going to go up and down some big trails and jumps and all that, it ain't for you. I've got other bikes. PUCKIPUPPY makes a lot of good bikes that are designed to do that, so that might be more of an option for you. I will leave links to those below too if you're interested in more like a full suspension mountain bike style bike. This is more of a utility bike, kind of like an SUV of bikes. Very impressive on what they did with this. But overall, I think it's a great option for just about anybody out there that needs a cargo style bike. Leave a comment below if you've ever ridden one of these trike style bikes, especially if you've ridden this PUCKIPUPPY. I'd like to hear your opinion on it. So yeah, I will leave links below where you could pick up one of these PUCKIPUPPY or some other bikes in their lineup, and all the gear and everything I use, because you know what? Everybody, please wear your helmet. I get it. You know, this is high up. I wouldn't want to fall off of here and hit my head. Even sitting still, you don't want to hit your head off of this thing. So yeah, there it is, everybody. That's all I got on the PUCKIPUPPY Husky Pro. See y'all on the trail.